And I know we talked off air about this. One of the best things I think it made a really, really good conference for myself was the focus of the conference. Really, content was there, but oddly enough, it was second. It was first networking / make deals happen. So
That's
for
a good point.
me, that was, that was in the back of the heads of all the different conferences we've been to.
Yeah.
However, I think that it wasn't the focus, and you're absolutely right. That should be the focus.
Yeah, we've been to I don't know how many conferences over the years, and they've all been fantastic. And almost always you talk about what was the takeaway, what's the best part of it, and almost always it's networking. So that's been a huge focus for DME. We want people to talk, we want them to get together, and ideally we want deals to happen. Like just talking to people, that's fine, that's good, but I want actual business to come out of this for people. So again, that was a huge focus. So as much as we want, again, to have fun and everything else, we want to make sure that we have enough time focused where people can talk about actual deals and get some things done.
So as I shared at the conference, and for those who may not have been there were deals actually being inked on that day. I know one particular that was closed from someone we're associated with. Actually, two people associated, a buyer and seller, that put together, and we're able to close over the weekend, which is astonishing. The fact that who knew that it could happen, right? This misbelief. We got Aaron saying that he had a great time. Aaron, it was fabulous. I think the networking was top notch. The panelists were out of this world. The conversation, the questions, the layout, and just the way people interacted and respected each other, which was a lot.
And I just put out a survey yesterday, so I'm totally open to feedback. Anybody who is there, please go ahead and fill out that survey. It's on the Whova app again. If you just on that front page, there's a button that says surveys. That's it, and it's 8 questions. It'll take you 3 minutes. Yeah. But if we can get that feedback, that would be very, very valuable to me and to Rebecca, so we know what went well, what we can do to improve, because we're always looking to do better.
Yeah. So some of the things we went through were the panelists that, you put a lot of time and effort into the topics of being at hand. And I think a lot of people really appreciate the openness. I think some of the newer investors who may not have been to any conference before, they were surprised at how open and honest people were with their information. The sharing in this community is amazing, and we both know it, that we've been living it for over a decade. But they're amazing because of the fact that they're willing to not only share, but be open after the panel speaking to go up and talk to them. Right?
And I've always loved that about the node industry is people are so open and willing to talk. And the guy who you think is like the big shot, don't even worry about it. Like everyone talks to everybody. It's not a big deal.
So, one of the things that came out of DME too was the fact that people started learning about this other field, the seller finance world. And we had some really high level originators in the room, RMLOs people, which I don't remember ever seeing an RMLO at a no conference before. So it was just that world of having attorneys in one area, RMLOs in others, originators there. So if you missed an originator that was there, that was creating 9, 10, 12% liens, and you're looking at tapes, we have 6. You missed out on some really good networking there. And I really encourage you to be more present with getting back on the app and find those people and connect with them. Right. One thing, people may have realized that our first time at this conference, and we talked to the originators who haven't been to them before, they were really excited about what it was. And for note buyers, if originators are excited, they're going to bring their people next year. So be ready, be present, and make sure you book out that weekend so you can get down to Nashville again.
We're already looking ahead. We're always planning and looking to make it better. And so that's it. May 31st and June 1st next year in Nashville. It's actually going to be at the same hotel because they're one of the only ones who responded to us and said, we can do this.
So for those who weren't there and worried about cost, right? The rooms are $200, a little less than $200 a night, which is really inexpensive for, especially for Nashville and the surrounding area. Usually we go to, different conferences, we're spending $350 a room a night, so your costs go up. But, to me, if you weren't able to get there for whatever reason, and you're really kind of curious about what it's about, I can't replicate the networking. But Nathan was willing and able to work with us to get the whole thing recorded. So I put the link, we put the link inside the chat here. And if anyone needs it, reach out to us. You watch recording and don't just take away the content, take away what you would have felt like if you were sitting in those seats, being able to communicate with the person next to you and the panelists and the speakers. How would it have been like if you were able to be there for the cost of being down there for the $500-600, whatever it costs to get down there? You would have brought back education, knowledge, and the networking to be able to make deals happen this week. It's astonished of what came out of this whole idea. It's hard to top what you did this past weekend, but I know you will, because I think it's going to grow. Please, if you have any topics or questions, we have people who do notes on trailers, notes on land, notes on origination, subject choose, racks, and Nathan's going to expand on those things as that population comes. Note conference has been primarily focused on note buyers.
One guy actually that I met at Paper Source, and he ended up coming to DME. He's a trader, and we've had a trader on the call here before. That would be an awesome group to get into notes. So I'm working with him to get into that crowd, and we'll invite them to come as well, and hopefully we can get some of these traders to come out as well. And that's an interesting world to be in.
We have people there, and we know one of them that were from Countrywide. We all know what Countrywide did. If you didn't watch the movie The Big Short, but Countrywide was a big debacle of our industry in 06, 07. Imagine the stories that these guys have. And you just sit down there, have a cup of coffee with this guy and just pick his brain. Because these guys originate notes for years on what went wrong. And they kind of make you feel good about what we're doing right now, because the fact that the underwriting has changed. For those who are creating notes, we really encourage you guys to tune into our last couple webinars, the podcast, and our content. We're teaching how to do it right, not simply for you to get good business, but you to be able to cash out and sell to us. Where I put together a chart to understand why interest rates don't be charging 6%. Get it up there if you can, right? But also the fact that we want to make sure you write good paper to be solid, that you don't lose your entire inventory.
It's very dangerous to not do it properly. One of the other ones that I thought was just so valuable was Marina from MBA.
Oh my Lord.
Oh my goodness, just chart upon chart upon chart of where we've come from, where we're going, and then what the MBA, the Mortgage Bankers Association, their prediction for where we're going forward. They're talking about a downturn. They're talking about difficulty getting loans. I think this is prime time for those who are done doing seller financing.
And for those people who are not sure what the MBA is, just Google them. Mortgage Bankers Association is massive, right? They have massive high-level conferences. They're massive level. We ask a lot of time at the end of the webinar, what's your prediction of the future? They graphed it for us. Right. So it's amazing the fact that people in the room, filled the room up constantly. We go to a lot of conferences and you kind of get half the room. I know I presented, and you can get our PowerPoint on my website, but I was amazed how many people stayed in the room, which is awesome. It wasn't stuffed outside. It was, people were drawn into the topics at hand. And I think it's simply because that it hit home for a lot of people. And for those who are beginners, the room was full of advanced to medium level players. So you would have walked in learning a lot. For those people who are a higher level or medium level, you missed out on some really good networking.
I thought it was really interesting at the beginning where we took kind of a informal poll of people that were brand new, people that had done some deals, and people that were more advanced. It was pretty even across all those groups. So it really was a conference anywhere from somebody who's brand new to somebody who's done, hundreds of deals. And so I thought that was really interesting. And I hope that we kind of keep that same ratio, because there's all kinds of things you can learn from everybody in the room.